All right, guys, Josh here. We are going to do something fun here today. We're going to paint this whole piece, but we're only going to aRust one half. So I'm going to do something interesting that we haven't done before. We're going to put a piece of tape down the center, and then I am going to aRust this half, and once that's dried, we're going to paint the whole thing. And that'll leave rust right here so that we can see what it's going to do to the paint and what it's going to do to the aRust plus the paint. And we'll see how that whole thing works. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm shaking up my aRust to make sure for 30 seconds. Remember, this is a water-soluble green product. It is pet-friendly, kid-friendly, environmentally friendly, and you can get it on your skin. I've done some videos where I use my finger to do it. And let's go ahead, and speaking of pet-friendly, we've got a pet in the garage. Come over here. Get over here. All right, so Gia's adorable. Hey, let's look at Gia. So pet friendly. Look at that. Oh, bye Gia. Okay, so pet friendly and oh, it's okay. All right, here we go. So we're gonna apply some of this way too thick. I am so sorry. I put it on too thick, but here we go. And we're just gonna apply this. Now I'm using a pretty decent brush. This is probably a $4 brush. The cheap ones that I use end up not working quite as well. Now, I should have done the edges first. I'm gonna show you a little technique that I learned from Lee in the office. You do the edges first and then you come back. And the reason for that is the edges will dry first, they will shrink, and a few other things. There's like 3 reasons to do the edges. But let me just tell you, do the edges first, and you do this in paint too. And it's going to go into the actual steel, and we're starving the steel of oxygen. I'm putting it on too thick. I apologize to everybody. I'm probably gonna, I learned the hard way. Okay, so let's go ahead and get rid of some of that. I'm actually not going to do the back area here. I'm only gonna do this area, and then we're all set. So now we're gonna let this dry for a little while. Now notice how I'm going different directions, and that's because all the little fibers, we wanna get this stuff underneath the fibers, and we'll be ready to go. So let's go ahead and let her dry, and we'll come back in a few minutes once it's dried, and we'll paint the whole thing, and then we'll remove the tape. All right, guys, so we have aRusted the right-hand side of this piece of steel, and this is rusted, and this is aRusted. We treated it. We put a piece of tape down the middle because I'm about to Krylon on this. Obviously, this is the product. This is the sample that we're using today, but I let it dry, and it's dry for about an hour. Now, I'm the world's worst painter, but I have Krylon Paint Plus Primer, Color Max Gloss White. We're gonna paint the whole thing, and then I'm gonna remove the tape. And the reason for that is I want you to see what rust will do underneath the paint. And we're just gonna do a little practice run here of just some paint, right? You're probably Pablo Picasso. I am not. But that's the beauty behind this product. And I didn't even, quite frankly, prep it that well. I didn't clean it up that much, but it created a nice smooth area for this. And once again, this product takes a lot less prep work than other products. We don't really need to sand it down. I put it on a little too thick, but we're gonna let it dry. This dries in about 20 to 30 minutes. And so we'll come back, we'll apply another layer, we'll get the edges, and we're gonna see, remember the right side was aRusted, the left was not. And we're gonna see what happens. All right, it's still drying, but look what's happening here. The right side is aRusted. We've coated it, we've stopped the rust, it's been aRusted. The left side still has rust, but this is a paint plus a primer. It's supposed to stop the rust, primer it, essentially, or seal it. But actually the rust has gone into the paint and it's discolored it. So we're gonna put one more coat on this, right? Assume that this is the primer, and let's see what happens. But already we can see discoloration, whereas and I haven't really done anything to it except for what you've seen. I lightly applied aRust to it, and on the right-hand side, and did nothing to the left. And in fact, I haven't even prepared these enough. I didn't sand them down and do all that stuff. So we're gonna see how this works in a sec. Hey guys, and we're back. Can you tell which side is aRusted? Well, I'll tell you which side. This side was aRusted. I flipped it around. This side is a little bit yellow. It's a little bit orange. It's hard to see here, but it's actually not aRusted, and that's because even though I put 3 layers of good paint. Krylon Color Max Paint plus Primer, Gloss White, Indoor, Outdoor, prevents rust, right? Prevents rust. I rusted this side. I put some tape down the middle. We're going to take it off. But every layer still, you've got a little bit of rust going through. Now, why did I put tape down the middle? Well, I want to show you that you're not going to be perfect in everything that you paint. There'll be a micro abrasions. There'll be stuff that doesn't work, and I want to show you over the course of the next few. First of all, take a quick look. It's hard to see, but a rust got underneath the paint and protected a little bit over here. You're going to notice that rust will not go under this paint now. It won't dig under. But rust can get under here and start bubbling up. And also, the rust is still happening over here. It's still a little science project, a little biology project happening in there. But this has been starved, if I applied it correctly, which I think I did, it's been starved of oxygen. So we're going to leave this outside, and we're just going to let it go to town. And remember, I aRusted the edges first, and then I let it set for an hour. I actually put it out in the sun just to let it dry, and then I painted it. So now we've got a good opportunity to see which one is aRusted and which one is not. And this protects from rust. This is a primer, and this is a paint. And it's good paint, nothing against them. It's just really hard to stop Mother Nature in its tracks. And this is what aRust does. Also, click the link below if you want to try aRust on your steel. If you want to try aRust at home, if you want to test this out on your own. We're obviously doing some extreme stuff here, but we'd love to let you have the opportunity to buy it as well and try it out at home. Thanks so much. You can also learn more at aRust.com. That's aRust.com. Thanks.